Just because they're finally uncomfortable doesn't mean you owe them comfort. If you've ever had to block a parent, ignore the flood of just forgive me texts, or sit quietly while someone gaslights your boundaries, this one's for you. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you hate them, it just means you finally love yourself enough to stop bleeding for people who only notice when you stop. Let's talk about emotional vampires, ghosting with compassion, and how letting people squirm might be the kindest thing you've ever done. They're not reaching out because they respect your pain, they're reaching out because they can't control you anymore. If they really cared, they'd change, but instead they just want you to change back. So let's be clear. Boundary setting is not betrayal, it's clarity. So when you've said, I'm not ready to talk, I need peace, and they respond with guilt, pressure, or fake peace, they're not honoring you, they're performing control. And psychologically, this is called reactive guilt messaging, a subtle manipulation tactic where someone frames their pain as your responsibility. So they might say something like, I just want peace, but what they really mean is, I want back the version of you that tolerated my dysfunction. So here's how people behave when they're more interested in image than repair. Okay, so here's a real example. So you went no contact with your father or your mother, whatever the case may be, after a couple of years of jabs and quiet disrespect. Let's say every time your dad came to visit the grandkids, he'd leave and then blow up your phone with texts like, every time I leave your house, I feel disgusted, or I can't believe you corrected me in front of my grandchildren. But what actually happened is, you saw him push food on your kids after they said no multiple times. And all you did was calmly ask, how many times do they have to say no before you respect it? Stop forcing food on them. Because you didn't want your kids to learn that if someone keeps pushing, you're supposed to give in. You were teaching consent. He saw disrespect. You're protecting your children's autonomy, and he felt entitled to override it. And instead of reflecting, he made you feel like the villain for holding the boundary. So now you don't reply. And that silence, it's your power. Your silence isn't violence, it's self-protection. And here's how to keep it that way. Lock your inner doors. Just because they knock doesn't mean you answer. Every text doesn't require a reply. You've already spoken. Now your silence is the follow-through. Next, reread your own boundaries. Go back to the message you sent or the moment you walked away. That's your truth. That's your proof. Don't let new guilt override old clarity. And finally, number 3, compassion without capture. So it's okay to feel sad for them, but don't confuse empathy with responsibility. You're allowed to care from afar. You're not being cruel, you're just refusing to be the emotional sponge you once were. Let them feel their own feelings. You've carried them long enough. So your peace isn't up for renegotiation just because they're finally noticing your absence. You didn't go no contact to punish them. You did it to protect you. And that's not petty, that's powerful. So remember this, find freedom from within, mindfulness for a secure mind.